This is the VW Sharan, and it's the biggest of what VW offer in a passenger vehicle. And I can tell you, I'm not surprised, because it's enormous. This whole car just feels huge and is huge. And actual fact, even sitting in the driver's position looking out through the front window, you can tell you're in a big thing that feels like a van. Now, it has about the cargo capacity of a van. It's got a huge boot in 5-seat mode, and in 7-seat mode it's got a boot that's about as big as a hatchback boot. It's still fairly big. It's got a big trench in the bottom and stuff. It's very good. It's very good in that respect. Now, people carriers are not drivers' cars, okay? So if you're a sort of a handling freak, or you like to go out for a nice pleasant drive around the place just for the crack on your own, this isn't going to be a car for you. But if you have 2 kids who are small in child seats, this is the car for you. Let me explain. The bench seat right behind me is 3 individual seats that slide back and forward and can fold up independently of the seat beside them. Now that means you can get 2 proper child seats, full-size child seats in the back, and an adult. Okay, the back seat. Sliding doors are ingenious, by the way. Now, my seat's set for me. Here you are. 6'1". Forget about it. Simple. And you have that capability. You slide it forward if you need to get more room in the back, no problem. And if you want to flat down the floor, pull that. Done. Job's a good one. And last manoeuvre, if you want to get someone into the rear seats, you just pull the handle at the top and lift it forward. This is the back. This is the boot in 5-seat mode. This is the boot, okay? It's enormous, and I mean huge. Look at this thing. You could easily put someone back here and close the boot. Simple. It's really massive. It's really decent sized. You get little shopping bag hook here. There's little doors and things that are openable to put more stuff in. I don't know what's supposed to be in there, but there's nothing in there at the moment. You get, I'm sure that closes there. You get a little place for drinks and cargo on that side. You get another little hole over this side. You get an armrest. You get all the good stuff, right? That's decent. Now, if we move over a bit, I can show you this part. Sorry, this should be out. That should be out of here when you're doing this, right? So you want to pull up the other seat, catch hold of that and pull. That tucks away on a little magnet, and you're left with a big trench down here which you can put your hand right into. Okay, so you get a big boot, and then you just flip over that seat. So that gets you the 6th seat, and the same for this seat and this side, and you still wind up with tons of space going through. And to get rid of the seat, you just literally pull that. The squab flips over on the far side. Then you pull a little handle here, and the seat doesn't drop. How to do this again? It's that one, sorry. Pull that drops away into the floor, and you pull that and drop it over, and you're back to flat floor style. Very smart. Right, I'm going to do the other seats from where you're standing. So watch this. You can do that to get into the back seats. So that lifts that forward. If you put that back where it was, you pull this and you drop it. Oh, headrest is up. And that gives you flat floor. Okay, that's easy enough, isn't it? Now, so you're all watching now? Now, you have a van. And I literally mean a van. Okay? This pulls out. Pull them together like that. Is that gone? So it's a van. I mean a van. It's huge. It's absolutely massive in here. And I'm not touching those front seats. I can lie down. It's like a camper van. There's only a couple of cars that are capable of doing that sort of a trick. One of them, of course, is the Ford Galaxy, which would be the direct competitor for this car. It's the best one to kind of point your finger at. You could look at the Seat Alhambra. You're basically buying the same car here as the Seat one. Now, VW have done a number of tricks to this car. One of them is to put in a 2-litre TDI Bluemotion engine. That puts this car in tax band C. It's just through sheer size. They couldn't get it up to tax band B or A. But tax band C is doing okay for a car of its size. Now, the one thing I have to say, in here, it is remarkably quiet. For a car of its size, the engine is just a little hum out in front of me somewhere. There's little or no road noise from the tyres, and there's very little wind noise around the cabin. You can even hear it yourself there. It's just a low thrum, it's way down low in deep sounding area. Now I'm going to take it out in the motorway because this is where it's just a fantastic yoke. You could cross a continent in this car. You just cross a continent. You just tip away and drive from here to Saint-Tropez and back again, and no problem. It's that kind of car. Now this one is the mid-range trend line. That's 120 kilometers an hour, by the way, and I could whisper, and it's still not making any noise. It's very quiet. Cruise control, I have 120, but there she goes, and off she heads. I just sit back now and relax. It's so quiet. There's just the faintest little sound of tarmac underneath me. That's all. Anyway, back to the point. This one is the Trendline version, and the Trendline is the mid-range version. So I'm not driving a Highline or anything else like that. This one has very comfortable seats. They're height adjustable on both sides. I have a CD player in the dash. Now, I have dual zone climate control, but it's a twiddly knob. It feels like ordinary air conditioning, but it's not actually. It's climate control, and it's very good. And I do like the vents in the ceiling in the second row. That's quite interesting actually, because the air blows straight down top of people, and it does quite make it feel like a sort of business class lounge or a business class seat on an airplane. It really does. It's quite unusual. It's an unusual feeling. The rest of the car has, let me go through some of the equipment. I have auto lights, so the lights come on their own at night time. I have auto wipers, they come on as well, which auto wipers don't really work as well as I want. I want to be able to do, I don't like auto wipers. I have an auto dimming rear mirror. I have cruise control. I have a trip computer thing that tells me at 120 kilometers an hour I'm doing 4.8 litres per 100 kilometers. It's not using any fuel. It's incredibly economical. Really is. It's amazing actually to flick through the list, and it tells you the range. When you pick it up first and it's full, and it tells you the range of like 1,100 kilometres or 1,000 kilometres. It's quite unusual to see, and it probably will do it. I've done 378 kilometres in it, and I've used a little over a quart of a tank. So it's really economical. Also on the Trendline, this box on the dashboard is standard as well, but it's not on the lower version. Now, critically, what's missing from the car is much more important than what you get in it. Because what's missing is Bluetooth. In other words, I have no hands-free kit in here, and I have no parking sensors, front or rear, none. And you'd imagine in a car of its size that parking sensors would be critical. And I'll explain why. I can see out the back window. Generally, where the back window is, it's quite easy to park it, but where the back window is the end of the car, so it's quite easy to kind of get it into spaces, and it's not really that difficult. It's quite big. You need a fairly decent space to get in. But if there's anything low down at the back, because the back of the car is quite high, so if there's anything low down, forget it. You can't see anything. You don't know. Small pillars, small kids, nothing. That's why I think there should be rear parking sensors on this. The bottom of the range one starts at 41,990, and the top of the range peaks out at €50,240. And that's before you add any options to it, okay? So that's just getting you the standard spec. And this one, kind of living in the middle of the range, sits in around 46,250 or 46,240, something like that. But again, for me to buy this 46,240, I'd want to put in Bluetooth and I'd want to put in parking sensors. So it's not going to cost me 46,240. It's probably going to be a few grand more than that.